Good morning, y'all. What's up, Juggalos? Whoop morning, everybody. What's going on? This is Scully back on here with another vlog. Again, I'm sitting out here right now, starting my day out in my truck, getting ready to smoke a joint. And for those of you who are wondering or worried, I am in Colorado. It is rightfully legal. I'm not driving anywhere. I'm only sitting in my truck because I cannot smoke inside. And it is super, super windy outside. I'm sitting here with my dog right here. Got a few things I want to talk to you guys about before I start off the vlog and everything. I don't know exactly what I'm going to put in the vlog today. I do know I have to go up to Colorado Springs because I got to pick up my daughter. She went to her mom's house this weekend. I am probably going to be doing a few other things up there. But until then, we're going to kick back a little bit. I'm going to talk to you guys about a few things that I've been noticing. I've been noticing some problems a lot lately in the Juggalo culture and everything. So I want to talk to you guys. I want to get some insight and I want to get some input back from you guys as well. First up, I want to talk about all this beef that's going on in between with the whole Juggalo world. There's beef with in between ICP and Twisted, or really Psychopathic and Magic Ninja Entertainment, really. There's new beef stirring up in between ICP and Tech 9. I want to kind of elaborate some of this stuff, talk about a few of it. But it's like, for one, all of us shouldn't be fighting. No Juggalos should be arguing or beefing or anything like that. We're all family. That's why we became Juggalos, because we needed a family, and we loved that, and we liked that family acceptance that we got from becoming a Juggalo. I know that's why I became a Juggalo. I know all my homies, that's why they became Juggalos. That's what being a Juggalo is all about. It's family. We should not have to choose between two labels, Psychopathic or Magic Ninja. From the beginning, we've always loved everybody. When we were all on the same label, we loved everybody. Everyone loved every artist. And then once Twisted broke off, started Magic Ninja, Juggalos kind of took that. It's kind of like a divorce. And they were torn. And they felt like they had to choose in between Psychopathic or Magic Ninja. And I know a lot of people who completely shut ICP and Psychopathic out, and they are only strictly MNE now. But, we're all still family. ICP, they're still putting out great music. Yeah, their style is changing, but that's what happens with every artist. You know what I'm saying? As they grow and get older, their style is going to change a little bit. They have to change a little bit to adapt to, that generation's music type. I'm not saying ICP has to go to fucking trap right now or start doing that bullshit mumble rap stuff. I mean, that mumble rap isn't even considered rap. That's just a whole new genre that today's kids like. Me as an older generation kid, I'm 33. To me, that sounds like these kids are trying to speak Braille. I mean, it's mumble, it's nonsense. ICP ain't doing that. They're still changing up. They're perfecting it a little bit more. I mean, I know a few albums back, they've had their perfection set before, but, each artist still has to rise up to, to beat that perfection, you know what I'm saying? Every artist does it pretty much. But, like I'm saying though, there should not be any hate in between ICP and Twisted. Or the labels in general. I mean, I like the artists I like. I like ICP, yeah. I'm starting to like Hoodoo. When he first came out, I did not like Big Hoodoo, I'll be honest with you, but now I'm starting to like him now. Light, or Young Light, whatever his name is, he has not released anything on Psychopathic that I know of yet. The only thing I've heard of him was, on the Cypher and a couple of the other things. And from what I've heard of him, you know, he's dope. That cipher that they just released, he was fucking ill on that. I don't care what anybody else says, you know, about the label or anything, you know. He was dope. I cannot wait to see what he says, or what he comes out with. I don't want to touch on her too much, but I didn't like Blase Rose either, but nobody else did. But mostly, I know everybody didn't like her because she was the female artist. But I just didn't like her style, really. That's just not me. But where the beef is stemming from, really, it's in between Twisted and ICP. And from what I have noticed, this is all from my perspective, and I watched this ICP video, or that interview over again, that 2-hour-long interview. If you guys have not watched that, I highly suggest to go watch that, because that interview does explain a lot of stuff, and really puts things into perspective. Because there's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes that we do not know about. Like, when Twisted originally left, but we don't know everything. According to Violent J, and on that interview, you know, there was a lot of kind of face slaps to ICP via Twisted and everything. With small little arguments, and a lot of it honestly just sounds like it's a lot of bullshit. Jay wasn't, you know, and I can understand why he didn't, but he wasn't explaining too much, putting in too much into detail. But I can understand why. One thing he was saying was back when they did the 17th gathering last year in 2016, when they got when ICP got Twisted to come to the gathering. Do you guys know how and how that happened exactly? How it came? What they had to do to get Twisted to come? It wasn't arguments really or anything, but pretty much came down to Twisted. They agreed to come on, and they refused to do a Lotus set though. Don't know why, but they refused to do the Lotus set. That's why they did the Wizard of the Hood, because Twisted would not do a Lotus, but they agreed on the Wizard of the Hood. But then, but one other thing that they wanted, they required, they're like, we're not going to do the gathering without the master from Lotus album. I can't remember what Lotus album it was, but they wanted the master to a Lotus album, and they got it. Jay gave it to him. He didn't really see anything bad about it, but that so Twisted does have a master to one of the Lotus albums, and I honestly can't wait to see what they're gonna do with it if they do. But I don't know. With all this bullshit and on all this fighting and everything, it's crap, because Lotus is dead now. The real Lotus. I mean, ICB could try to bring it back, you know, with Light and Hoodoo or some shit like that, or Twisted could try to bring it back with their roster, but it's not going to be the same Lotus. Not in a million years. Not without ICP and Twisted together and Blaze. But I don't know. I've just noticed that's kind of where it's all coming from. Is just honestly, it sounds like a lot of this shit's coming from Twisted, which is how they're acting and everything. Jay was saying that they, you know, we'll do collabs and everything together, and they never did collabs with each other and everything, as much like they used to do. It's like they don't want to have anything to do with Twisted or ICP, really. It's almost like Twisted is trying to separate themselves from the whole gang thing. I kind of think that's what it is, because from what I understand, that's why Twisted and M&E is separating themselves from the march, is they do not want to have to associate themselves or the label with anything gang related like that, or the gang list. I don't know. And Twisted is also saying that they don't really owe anything to ICP, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure that they said that they don't owe too much from them, and they owe a lot to ICP. They owe their whole career to ICP. Honestly, that's my opinion, and the way I see that is because when Twisted first came out, right? And when Twisted first came out and they came on with ICP, they're all sitting together trying to think of a name and everything. They decided on Twisted, and how they brought Twisted out to the Juggalos was on Twist. It was on a tour, and it was back in '99. It was ICP's first tour where they got their own tour bus, like their own bus status. You know what I'm saying? This is ICP's first tour where they got their own huge bus, and then they just bring Twisted on like that, just to help get them, you know, get them out and viewed. And for a little while, for the first few shows, people didn't really like them because they were just two other dudes painted up. But, you know, once they started, more and more ICP was pushing them out there, the more and more people started to like them. And then they just blew up from there. So, you know, Twisted owes a lot to ICP. The least they could do, the least they could be doing right now is doing some collabs and everything with them. You know, appear on the next ICP album, Twisted. You know what I'm saying? Or ask them to be on your next fucking album. Why haven't they been on any of your albums since you started NNE? I mean, I love Twisted. I've always liked Twisted. But, I mean, where is the love with that? I mean, where's the love back? Where's this love to the Juggalos and stuff that you're always claiming and everything? I mean, ever since since Twisted started NNE, I didn't notice it until I watched this interview. You know, and I could start seeing things more clearly and shit. You know, Twisted hasn't shown much love to Juggalos. Like, Juggalos. I mean, yeah, they show the family a lot of appreciation, but they leave the word Juggalo out of a lot of it. I mean, and I honestly didn't notice that, and I don't know how, but anyway, going on with more of the beef with ICP and fucking Tech 9, I just noticed that blowing up this past week, where Tech is out there saying that he doesn't owe ICP anything for his fame either, or Strange Music's fame, which is complete and utter bullshit. But anyway, where this all comes from is back 2016, I want to say back in November. Tech 9 did an interview with some radio station on YouTube or some shit like that, and he was going on to saying that he doesn't owe ICP or anything. You know, he doesn't owe them to his fame. And even though a lot of his fans are Juggalos, he doesn't think that ICP helped him get big as he is. And one of the interviewers actually also pointed out that Strange Music is apparently based off of Psychopathic Records, which, if you really think about it and really look at it, it kind of appears it is. But Tech 9 and Travis O'Gwen, they swear and they say that it's not, that it's based off of I don't know, No Limit, I think, or something like that. So I see, but how the beef how everything started and how this all escalated was, I think it was last week, maybe the week before, ICP did an interview with the same couple weeks ago, ICP did an interview with the same radio station, and it's funny, and I actually really enjoyed this interview, and because the interviewers, they didn't know ICP, they had no knowledge of, you know, Juggalos or the Juggalo world and all that, the Juggalo culture and all that, you know, so it put a whole different aspect on the interview, and they were really intrigued, and, you know, for the most part, they were nice, you know, they weren't really negative or anything. They started talking about Tech. It was the same thing that happened with Twisted. ICP put Tech on one of their tours and everything. It was ICP, Tech 9, KMK, and Bone Thugs. And at that time, Tech 9 was not very popular. He had a couple albums out, but he wasn't very widely known. And then he went on Tech went on that tour, and the whole time he was there, people were standing with their backs to him and everything, at first and everything. But once they started hearing him, you know, they turned around and really got into him. But, you know, at first, everybody, like, the first half of the tour, nobody liked him until they started hearing him and everything. But then once, you know, the second half of the tour started kicking off, then people started hearing about him and everything, and that's when Tech 9 started blowing up. And that's when they created Strange Music. And which is directly imaged off of and created from Psychopathic, pretty much. That's how they run it, just like Psychopathic is run. But yeah, in my opinion, Tech 9 owes ICP pretty much everything to his whole fucking empire. Those are just some of my thoughts, guys. I would definitely love your opinions, and please put them below. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the next day and everything. I'm actually currently editing today's vlog, and I realized I didn't even end the vlog. When I went to Springs yesterday, I got up to my homie Mike's and everything. We just spent some family time together and stuff. I didn't really bring the camera inside or anything, to be honest. And after I left there, I was waiting forever for my ex to show up with my daughter, and it was too dark for me to vlog anyways, so I just ended up coming on home and hit it pretty much at the sack when we got home. Editing right now, like I said, and got to the end and there's no ending, so that's what I'm going to do right now, everybody, so I can end this, finish editing that, and get it up for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So until tomorrow, everybody, keep it wicked, whoop whoop and whoop what.